Hi, whenever you start to make progress in your business, do you end up doing something to sabotage yourself? Are you sabotaging your business? Hi, my name's Paula Ramm, and I help direct sellers grow their businesses without leaving home. And this is a big issue that many of us have, is the issue of subconsciously sabotaging our own businesses. And why is that? We might get to a certain level of success or start seeing some success, and then we do something to sabotage it. And I've found myself doing this frequently, so I know many of you might be dealing with the same thing. Okay, so there's something called the upper limit problem, okay? This is when whenever you make any tangible improvements in your life, you'll immediately begin sabotaging yourself. So this is a psychological principle that is a real thing. It sounds crazy, but it's real. Okay, it's because it's like we all have this inner thermostat. Okay, so just like the thermostat in your house, if it gets too hot out, the thermostat will kick on the air conditioning to bring that down. Or if it gets too cold, it'll kick on the heat to bring the temperature back up to that one set point, that one setting that is comfortable. And your body is like the same way. It has this one set point where it's comfortable and it does not like change, right? It just wants to stay in its comfort zone, right? And you'll find this, a big obvious example is when you're trying to lose weight or get healthy. It's like you might lose 10 pounds or 20 pounds and you just, oh, this is so great, and you feel so great, but then for whatever reason, your subconscious, you just go on a binge eating spree, or you just throw it all out the window, and you kind of sabotage yourself and kind of go back to your old habits when you were doing so well. It's like, what's the deal, right? And your weight will kind of go back to that set point, right? But even like if you go away for a weekend and you put on a few pounds, the reverse is true. You tend to take those off fairly easily because your body's trying to get to that set point where it has been comfortable all of these years. So the trick is, changing that thermostat. You can change that thermostat, okay? And it's not just for weight or business, right? The thermostat principle is the same even with relationships, right? You might finally get a good friendship or finally make progress in your relationship with your spouse, but then you start acting crazy or do something to sabotage that as well. Sometimes we women do crazy things, and we're like, why did we do that, right? It's like you're subconsciously sabotaging that relationship for whatever reason, okay? And you can also see this in your kids, right? It's like, that kid who they're kind of mad about something, and they want to hold on to that anger and those bad feelings just to get, sympathy or make you feel bad for them or something. And you might joke around with them or try to cheer them up, and you'll see that smile start to come up, that they want to be happy. They are really happy inside, but they don't want to show it, right? They're just like, I gotta hold it in, right? And it's just like, sometimes I think that's what it is with our thermostats, right? We might be experiencing success, but oh no, it can't be, that's too good to be true. That can't happen because this is not who I've usually been, and something's gonna go wrong, and so I'm just gonna make it go wrong before it goes wrong on itself by its own, right? Because it's just like you're afraid of that success, or you think if that success comes, it was just luck and you're gonna lose it, right? So another habit, right, that's kind of like a thermostat thing. A lot of these, I think, are like habits. It is like a habit, the thermostat setting, right? So like, I know one of my bad habits over the years has been, I have this normal feeling to be stressed out when having to get out the door to be anywhere at a certain time. So if I'm trying to get everybody ready to get out the door on time, and especially for a trip or something, right, it's like, I have to feel nervous and stressed. It's like, if I don't feel nervous, if I'm nice and prepared and I have plenty of time, then I almost feel like something's wrong. Like, what's wrong? I better feel stressed. I better make myself feel stressed and anxious because something must be wrong, or must have been forgetting something if I don't feel stressed. So it's like this your subconscious thinks these crazy thoughts sometimes, right? And it's not in your best interest to go back to those old thought patterns, right? So it's okay not to be stressed. It's okay to be happy. It's okay to have success in your business. That's okay. Embrace it, accept it, and then bring up that level, your set point of your thermostat, okay? So a big way to change that set point, right, is to recognize it. Recognize the signs that you might be sabotaging things, your thought patterns, right, that might make you prevent a good opportunity from happening. Okay, watch for the signals. Okay, and then once you see the signals and you know, oh, I know what this is, I know what is happening, right, reassociate it with good, positive thoughts, right, positive emotions, to show your body that it's okay to have change, that it still feels good, it's still a good thing, right? You don't have to cling to what's comfortable or usual, right? Associate positive, exciting, awesome thoughts with it so that your body will want to stay at that new set point, okay? So a big example where I recently sabotaged myself was when this big 7-figure network marketing leader reached out to me for help with online marketing. She had built her crazy big business the old school way, but she wanted to expand in the online marketing sphere, which is how I built my business. So when she reached out to me, like, I immediately got kind of paralyzed, right? It was like, oh my goodness, what is she reaching out to me for, right? Little old me, what do I have to teach her, right? I can't teach her anything. She's like, and I got paralyzed. I could hardly respond back. And then when I did respond back, it wasn't at my best. It was, it was very nervous. It was very unsure of myself, right? And I think it was just that subconscious just sabotaging myself, because my subconscious was telling me that I wasn't good enough, or I didn't know enough, and who was I to be able to help this person, right? Or think bigger, go above that set point, right? And it's crazy, because even no matter how much success you achieve, I think everybody is susceptible to those thoughts, right? And to sabotage themselves, think they're not good enough, think they're an imposter, right? So I think this happens a lot if you're an entrepreneur or in direct sales, it doesn't matter. You might, have some type of fear of becoming a little too successful, right? And I actually get this feedback a lot from team members in my direct sales company. They'll confide in me that they're a little intimidated, a little afraid of being successful. They're afraid of building a team, because then how would they answer the questions? They wouldn't feel comfortable knowing how to answer all the questions. They wouldn't know how to be a good leader, how to, they just don't, all these things they don't know how to do. And it's pretty crazy. Or if they get too many sales, how are they going to take care of these customers? Will they know the answer for customer service? Will they be able to help them adequately or communicate with them? So people are afraid of too many sales, too many team members, okay? So this is why, I teach influencer marketing, which is reaching out to people with big audiences to reach out to recommend my product to their followers, okay? So, and if they're recommending to their followers are most likely to buy it because they recommend this influencer and they trust them and they'll buy from them. So this is how I grew my direct sales team, was by reaching out to these influencers, having them recommend my product for me, and people would try my product, they'd fall in love with the product, and then naturally want to join my team because they saw it was a great product and easy to sell. So, but yeah, that's when I started finding that a lot of people, when they were considered, some people jumped right into influencer marketing as well on my team, and that's how it kind of exploded. And And a lot of the influencers signed up, and of course they were already used to influencer marketing because they were the influencer. But a lot of people who were considering using influencers to grow their business were a little scared because they thought they were going to get too many sales too fast or too many team members too fast, and they wouldn't be able to handle it, right? So that's a good problem to have, right? When you think about it, it's like it doesn't make sense to be afraid of that. Just jump right in and do it. But that's why it's good to be aware of the psychological processes that are behind these seemingly irrational thoughts, right? Of course you can learn, of course you learn as you go, right? I knew nothing when I started, but I learned as I went, right? So it's just recognizing these things. So if you start to feel like you get these kind of strange thoughts, right? And you want to sabotage something, just stop working on something, get paralyzed, or not pursue a great opportunity that you know it's a great opportunity, but you're just not doing it. Or a lot of times it's physical illness. Your body might just get sick, especially if you suffer with a chronic illness. A lot of times people might have a relapse into their chronic illness when they get paralyzed by, or their body is subconsciously trying to sabotage this success, this change in the homeostasis, the regular set point. So it's one, recognizing it, and then two, associating it with positive emotions, be excited about it, and just slowly start inching up that bar, that temperature, so that you just get more and more comfortable at operating at a higher level, and embrace that success, and more will come. So I hope this helps, guys. Bye.